I don't know if Kevin Love is going to be fazed by this moment. I haven't seen him. And he's got Draymond that's going to be trying to get in his head. And I'm thinking about all of that. And that's where I'm at right now. Golden State's deep, man. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes. You got the Bogut. You got the Draymond Green. Then you got Spates, who can take you away from the basket, hit perimeter shots. You've got Livingston, who could be a matchup nightmare. You got Barbosa, who could be an Energizer Bunny off the bench. It's either Barnes or Iguodala that's coming off the bench. That's 9 deep right there. And so I just look at it and I'm like, wow, I can't underestimate these dudes. I just can't.
I hear you.
All right, so a different reasoning, but expecting the same result, both of you with dubs in 7. So one day before high-stakes NBA Finals, LeBron isn't feeling the weight of the world or the city of Cleveland, for that matter. Here's LeBron on the pressure.
I don't really get involved into the whole pressure thing. I think I've exceeded expectations in my life as a professional. I'm a statistic that was supposed to go the other way, you know, growing up in inner city, having a single-parent household. It was just me and my mother. So everything that I've done has been a success. So, you know, as far as the game of basketball, I just go out and play it and have fun and love it and be true to the game and to my teammates and live with the results. So it don't really get to me too much.
You know what they say, no pressure, no diamonds. Skip Bayless. Are you buying this, that LeBron isn't feeling any pressure heading into this series?
No, I'm not. I just can't believe that a LeBron James that we have seen before in a number of postseason situations when he has struggled with and sometimes succumbed to pressure, I can't believe he's feeling no pressure now. But I must admit, I liked his answer, given that he struggled with pressure before. Maybe it's almost like a sports psychologist-inspired answer, but it's the right thing to say. Why should I feel any pressure? And I've said it before the last couple of shows here. I like LeBron's new approach. I've never seen this before in the way he is in attack mode going after publicly Golden State. He's gone after Steph, even though he backed off some of his MVP quotes yesterday. He's gone after Steve Kerr, winning Coach of the Year. Instead of what Brian Windhorst has often referred to as the passive-aggressive LeBron, he's been flat-out aggressive in his public quotes about Golden State. Don't give me that we're underdogs. That's just stupidity. I like that. And I get what he's saying, LeBron, about I have exceeded expectations. Obviously, you can read into that many things, but given the odds stacked against him, coming from where he came from in Akron, child of a single parent, and the odds are just sort of billions to 1 against you, and he obviously crushed those odds. And obviously, LeBron knows in his heart of hearts his all-time greatness is firmly established. I mean, what are some people have him in the top 5 already? So we get all that. But there's that one glaring, glowing statistic that Stephen A. refers to that haunts Stephen A. as well as it could haunt LeBron. And it's why it was tugging on his heartstrings to maybe pick Cleveland, and it's that 2-4 in the finals. That could be 2-5 because LeBron is the underdog, at least according to the Vegas odds makers, going up against a 73-win team, defending champs, with a back-to-back MVP who was the first ever unanimous MVP. So does that make him feel some deep-down pressure? I would think it does to some degree, but maybe he's now sort of convinced himself, if not needing to delude himself into believing, why should I worry? I've done so much in this league. My statistics don't just speak for themselves, they scream for themselves, except, of course, for that 1, 2, and 4 number. So I think he feels some pressure, but maybe he's more comfortable at age 31 after 13 years with his legacy than he used to be. So maybe he doesn't feel quite as much pressure as he did in those early meltdown series against Boston in the playoffs in, 2010, and then Dallas in the finals in 2011. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that when he talks about not feeling pressure, I think he's trying to dissipate or diminish the level of pressure one would think he should feel about whether he wins or loses, because he knows it's a team game and it can't be all about him. But I do believe that he's not telling the truth when he talks about the pressure to perform as an individual. Because I'm telling you right now, there isn't a basketball player alive that I have ever met in my life that isn't cognizant about the importance of doing their individual job. Because when you, particularly when you're elite, and you don't perform, it's incredibly conspicuous. You can't hide because you're considered such a difference maker that when you don't perform, it's glaring. So if LeBron is talking about the pressure to win or lose another NBA Finals, and he wants to diminish that, I can get where he's coming from because people try to define the success or failure in his career strictly based on NBA Finals record. And he's saying no. There's 82 games in a regular season. There are postseason appearances. There are guys that are superstars or considered stars and superstars that have played in this league that have been to only one NBA Finals in their career, or only a conference final in their career, or in some cases never even a conference final. Okay, they don't have the resume that I have. They're not a 4-time league MVP. They're not a 2-time NBA champion. A matter of fact, they don't even get to the finals, let alone sniff a shot at the championship. So how can we sit up here and call them superstars and gloss over that, but literally nitpick and dissect me with a fine-tooth comb when I am appearing now in my 6th consecutive NBA Finals appearance? I don't care what conference I'm in. Look at what I've done. So I think that he's trying to do that, and I think that is a valid point. Where it's invalid, where I don't believe him, where I totally agree with you, is when he tries to act like there's no pressure on himself to perform individually. LeBron James cannot fail to show up in the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. He cannot stink up the joint. It is already an indictment against him to some degree that we sit here and we're picking Golden State. Because the fact of the matter is, Skip, if Kobe was in his prime with this Cavaliers team, would we pick Golden State? If Michael Jordan was in his prime, you know, against Golden State with this Cleveland Cavaliers team, would we pick Golden State? If you look at some other players, you know, the list goes on and on. The Birds of the world and others, would we have picked them? Isaiah Thomas of the world, would we have picked against them? I mean, the fact that we're picking Golden State, despite the fact that Cleveland has a pretty damn good team with a pretty damn good coaching staff and a resident superstar universally recognized as one of the top 2 players on the planet, is an indictment against LeBron. There is no way around that. You know, it breaks my heart to do it because I want him to win. But the fact of the matter is, if Steph Curry wasn't on Golden State, it would be easy for me to pick Cleveland. Yep. But the fact that Steph Curry is on Golden State, what essentially am I saying? I'm saying that I believe in the reigning defending NBA champion and 2-time league MVP more than anybody else. That's clearly what I'm saying. And so if you're LeBron, you have to make sure that you address that with the fervor it deserves, and you show up and you put forth, I would say, an even better performance, because everybody goes off about how LeBron was so phenomenal last year. 35 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists a game, 2 triple-doubles in the NBA Finals. He was absolutely sensational. Fair enough. He also shot 35% from the field.
Yep.
We're complaining about Steph Curry when Steph Curry shoots 45% from the field. So let's look at it from and just reel ourselves in and understand that LeBron is right from a macro perspective. But the micro is his individual performance. You're damn right he's feeling some pressure because he has to perform. Absolutely.
Very well said. But by the way, back to your Kobe in his prime replaces LeBron on this team issue. That's very debatable, which is why I hope we get to debate that later in the show.
All right, I waited all week for those predictions. Warriors in 7.
Warriors
Westgate
in
Las
7.
Vegas also says that's the most likely outcome. We want you guys to weigh in here. Go to our First Take page on Twitter there. Vote yes or no. Give us your feelings on LeBron. Are you a fan or not? We'll share those results and get into that a little bit later. Meanwhile, has Steph stolen the title now as face of the league from LeBron? The questions has grown old for Steph. We'll react to what he said after the break. Stay with us.